With the release of the 4th Super Smash Bros. And the accompanying Gamecube controller adapter, the Gamecube controller is back in the spotlight again. Many players are overjoyed with the return of this old friend, yet others wonder why, after removing Gamecube compatibility, including controller capability, Nintendo would bring it back. Some even don't understand the love affair with the Gamecube controller. Today I'd like to do something crazy, like always. I will analyze the Gamecube controller and look for connections that illuminate this mystery, as well as some bonus analysis. But that'll have to stay a secret for now, just pay attention. First, let's analyze the overall shape and grip briefly. The controller is designed to naturally and comfortably rest between both hands of the player. There is no need for a death grip, and even just resting it in your hands, it is not easy to accidentally drop, even with exaggerated jerky motions. It's not a groundbreaking or irreplaceable luxury, but anyway, the next area to analyze are the face buttons, and how they are placed on the controller. B, A, and X can all be pressed simply by moving your thumb left and right, due to the fact the thumb is a saddle joint, only allowing a curved circular motion. Moving your thumb to the left rotates you down to B, and moving right raises your thumb to X. The only way to reach Y is to center your thumb on A, and extend your thumb straight forward. My long thumb can even hook onto Y if I wish. You can actually just keep your thumb extended and comfortably press the lower buttons with your first knuckle. There is more though. Notice none of these 4 face buttons are the same. A is a large circle, and B is a tiny circle. X and Y are not circles and are oriented differently to give distinct touch sensations. Without looking, you have all the cues necessary to navigate these buttons in case you drop or fumble the controller somehow. The start button, which in most fast-paced games you will use least, is located where it is easily accessed by either hand, yet away from the main action. The shoulder buttons are also easily accessible by either index finger, no matter how you hold the controller. With only one way to hold the controller, the control stick is always comfortable to use, and similar to the face buttons, a simple thumb movement to the right leads you to the D-pad. In games that use both control stick and D-pad, it is easy to quickly move between, whether it is for your preference or to activate something. The one weakness of this controller comes as the yellow C-stick. You can't use the C-stick and the face button simultaneously, which in most games is thankfully never expected. Even with this weakness, if I rotate left with my thumb extended, the C-stick rests right at my thumb joint, which for me feels more natural than trying to use it with a bent thumb. I suspect this is the intended way to use the C-stick. The C-stick works just as well, just not if it has to be used in conjunction with the 4 face buttons. You can try with your other thumb, but it isn't natural. This design is essentially a refinement of what Nintendo attempted with the N64 controller. This uterine controller could be held in 2 ways. I don't know why it is shaped like a uterus, I guess Mother 3 was still planned for the N64. Anyway, A and B can both be accessed by simply extending your thumb, and if you rest it between the 2 buttons and move right, you will find the yellow C buttons. With this orientation, start can be pressed easily by either thumb. Oh man, this is dirty, isn't it? You'll see why. And R can be easily accessed in all orientations. Then on the back, remember we have Z, which can only be reasonably accessed in this orientation. This orientation also excludes the L button, also known as the button nobody pressed. That is not reasonable to expect somebody to do. This second Kirby 64 orientation makes the control stick usable as well as placing Z out of comfortable reach. See, I had to inadvertently flip you off to press it. It's doable like the L button gymnastics, but not really. This orientation also allows you to press L if you feel like it, and I don't. L should never be pressed. Otherwise, not that different, since all functional orientations have your right hand over there. Now for lols, let's look at a bad third-party controller that managed to make the N64 controller more uterus-like and less functional. It's basically oriented identically, but how do you hold this? It's worse than a Dreamcast controller. This is how not to make a controller. The N64 had things to hold on to. It's like trying to eat a breached burrito with your fists. I mean, how? How? How even? Get out of here. Get the hell out of here and don't come back. Now for why my N64 controller was dirty. I always use this because it solves most of the original controller's big problems. It has one orientation, so L and Z can always be accessed. Z actually cleverly fits right where your middle finger will rest. You can even access the control stick and D-pad easily without needing a new orientation. So with a look at how the N64 controller evolved, let's go ahead and look at the Wii and make sense of it too. If you accept the Gamecube controller as the ultimate controller thus far now, Nintendo had nothing obvious to improve, so it was time to innovate and try to evolve gaming in new ways. The Wii Remote has several orientations like the N64 controller, and they also make certain buttons more difficult to use. Nobody will say the Wii Remote is the greatest controller, but it works as well as the NES and SNES controllers, and introduces motion. It'll take time, but Nintendo will eventually make the next ultimate controller, and then it will be time for more innovation. So the reason the Gamecube controller is so beloved is because it was designed to be the ultimate controller, with the mechanics and proportions of the average human body in mind. This is especially important for hardcore fighting game players who want to know every player is playing at their best, which they only can if they are playing with the best controller. I'd also like to point out the Wavebird is a little different, with only notable difference being a slightly more difficult to hold grip.